So that's what we were going to do, and then I moved to Medford.
Hi everybody. Thanks for coming to listen to poetry and see photographs of shamans around the world. So my name is Beth Beurkens, and I'm so happy to see some of my RCC students here, and a couple of my faculty buddies in the back, Gulistan and Polly. We're in the writing department together at the college. And I have some of my writing buddies here with me. We have a large critique group that meets sometimes in Jacksonville, sometimes in Ashland, sometimes in Medford. And I have to say, these poems would not be as good as they are without these people's help in editing. So what are those hand signals? Is my hair not right?
Taking off my jacket.
Taking off your jacket. All right. So this is the book. You probably saw copies downstairs. Hi, welcome. It's called Shamans Mirror. And this book has really been on a journey, and I've been on a huge journey with it. The latest journey was, you may have heard there was a hurricane in South Carolina. Okay? The book was supposed to be published there with the Amazon Press, and the hurricane came in. So I'm in Sonoma County teaching the 3-year shamanism program with my friends, and on the phone talking to people in Costa Rica and in Quebec and a lot in South Africa about October 19th tonight, and we need these books. So I finally arranged on the way home on the cell phone to get these printed in Quebec. So if you're fond of Quebec, Canada, wow! Hi, Leslie Lyon from H&R Block, woohoo! These are the only French printed books I think that there ever will be. Usually they'll be printed in South Carolina. So my friends were asking me about the cover. You can see that this woman is a shaman, right? She's got her drum, and she also has a bronze mirror on her chest. And that is the shaman's mirror in the shamanic tradition. Shamans wear these bronze mirrors. Sometimes you see costumes with the entire back of the costume covered with bronze mirrors. And there's lots of information about bronze mirrors. They help to protect the shaman, but the metal, you see shamans with metal, various metal objects on their costumes. The metal calls in the power of the ancestors, of their ancestors, and helps with the shamanic work. So this particular shaman, the photographer Wolfgang Kahler, I managed to track him down. He went to Buryat, which is part of Mongolia, and found this woman in the market. And she was just in ordinary clothing. And somebody pointed her out to him. He was looking for shamans. He's a world-class photographer. And found her, and she agreed to work with him for a couple of days. And this is really the photo of her in her full power, merged with her helping spirits, whoa, doing her work. So I managed to acquire this photo from him. There's 10 photos in the interior of shamans from all over the world. This woman standing by a river, she's from Tuva, which is the northern part of Scandinavia. Hold it up higher, hold it down lower. Like that? Okay. And I think I wanted to show you the shaman from Siberia. This was a really interesting, I spent the summer of 2015 tracking down these photographs and getting permission to use them. There were 13 shamans who met in ceremony in Siberia. And this guy was among the most powerful. All of these photographs were published in the Siberian Times. You know what we heard about Siberia when we were growing up. You don't ever want to go there. Well, it turns out shamanism is alive and well there. And I contacted the woman editor of the Siberian Times. It was so wonderful to, correspond with somebody in Siberia. And she said yes, that I could use 2 of these photos, royalty-free, just as a gift, because she believed in the project. So the stories go on and on. One more, a photographer who lives in Istanbul, This is the photo that opens the book. This woman, Carolyn Drake, you may have heard of her. She's with Magnum Photos in New York City. She's a big-time photographer. Well, did I say this was in Nat Geo? It accompanied an article about shamanism. And this woman is a neophyte shaman. She's not full-fledged. She's being initiated. And I cried when I found this photo at midnight. I was searching and searching, and this article came up out of nowhere. And so she's a young woman, and she's got milk, and she's carved out a sacred space, a sacred site, and she's offering the milk up to her ancestors. And this was part of her initiatory ritual. So the thing about this photo is in Nat Geo, it was facing the other direction.
Oh.
That didn't work in the book. So I had to negotiate back and forth with the photographer in Istanbul. Would you please consider allowing me to flip the photo? Because she's got to look in towards the poems. That was a big, serious discussion. And she finally said, okay, I get it, yes, okay. So, I'm so happy with how this book turned out. You know, you never know. It's like, it's a work of art.
It's been a journey.
It's been a journey, yes. Definitely a shamanic journey. So, there are 52 poems in the book, and I don't know, I'm a poet. I love poetry, and I love combining art with the poetry. There's something about the photos that really anchor the poems into the book. So I'm just so happy that you're here tonight. My friends are here. They're each chosen a poem from the book, one of their favorites, that they'll be reading. And before we get going with the reading, I have an email list here. If you'd like to get on my email list and know about future events, we often do readings here at Bloomsbury as a group. Just, you know, write as legibly as you can. Give me your name. Does that mean it's 7 o'clock? I'll pass this around.
Pretty much. Here we go.
So any questions you have for me before I turn it over to Linda Barnes, who will